Okay, so who are you? You're the Jug here. Okay.
Jug, yeah.
So, do you have
Okay, so who are
any
you? You're the
specific
Jug
thoughts
here.
on this game in regards to like what you think went right or wrong? Anything like that?
I just felt like I lane bad. I felt like I lane bad, and I couldn't catch up as well as the opponent carry. So yeah, then maybe also some indecision makings and I got my butterfly pretty late. I'm sorry, battle fury, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, we'll check it out. Taking a little while to load.
Yeah.
Yeah, for future sessions, since you have a few more coming, I can help you more whenever you have a replay already sent to me ahead of time. Like you can just send it to me on Discord. I'll download it before the session, and yeah,
Okay,
it'll just
got
help
it.
both of us get more out of the time. So just for future reference.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Let's check this out here. So you're against probably like Phoenix Shadow Demon or something like this.
Yes.
Maybe Phoenix Clockwork. I'm curious what the reasoning for leveling spin here is. Or are you planning on going on him here? Is that why you leveled spin?
Yes. I was planning to, like, if the team would jump, then I would probably like use spin, like if everyone was together, like that was like my thought process there.
Gotcha. So my immediate question is, what's the goal of auto-attacking the wave like this?
Sorry.
Like, what are you trying to do by auto-attacking the wave like you just did? Like, you walked up and just started attacking it. I'm curious what your thought is.
I wanted to maybe like get the CS as quick as possible because I hate going against Phoenix like personal because like it slows down my attack speed and all that. Then I have like a hard time what do you call this, like last hitting.
Yeah. I guess I'm trying to understand like why killing the creeps faster prevents that. Like, can't he fire spirit you now?
Oh yes, yes.
I'm wondering
So what
like
do you suggest I would do here? Like
so I think one of the first problems not the problems. One of the first things I try to do with all of my students I actually need some context. How long have you watched me for? Or like, what made you choose me as your coach? Like, I understand what you're trying to get out of the sessions, but why did you choose me as your coach?
actually I've started watching you since last year.
Okay.
So my friend from actually I'm from the Philippines. My friend from the Philippines told me um you were a good person to approach for this, and like I had like no time to like try and like sneak in sessions. So like now like
Okay.
I've I found some free time, and so I
Gotcha.
went out and
So it was
reached
off
out
of
to
a
you. Yeah.
friend's recommendation that you chose to come to me for coaching?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So a lot of times when I am coaching my students, the first thing I try to understand is why you're doing what you're doing. Because I think the why is way more important than what you're doing. So one of the first realizations I usually have when I'm coaching somebody for the first time is that when I ask them why they're doing what they're doing, a lot of the time they don't really have quite frankly like a good answer. Like they don't have like they're not like intentional about what they're doing. They're not consciously choosing doing do this over something else. Like, my best explanation would be if I told you that I was hitting a creep wave here, I'd be like, well, my intent is to push the lane into this hero because it's going to be weak level 1, which is going to set up but they have a really strong level 2, and that's going to set up Lion to deward the pull before the minute mark, and that's going to allow him to pull at 115, and that's why I would push the wave. Like, I would be able to give you a very specific reason why I'm hitting these creeps, because I don't consider it default to walk up to the creeps and hit them. So it's not a matter of the right or wrong answer. It's more like, I want to know, is it default for you to hit creeps? Is it... Because, like, when I challenge your explanation of the guy being really hard to CS against, I don't think hitting the creeps makes it any easier to CS against Phoenix. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I get what you mean. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm really bad. Like, I mean, like, I really autopilot a lot. I think that's the best term.
Okay. That is very common. I would say it's incredibly common in Dota, especially because people have been playing the game for quite some time. A lot of people. And so I think the most powerful thing I can give anyone in your situation, like in my experience, out of my coaching sessions, is to get you to stop autopiloting. Because if you autopilot, you're not really going to meaningfully improve at anything you're doing, whether it's Dota or literally anything else. So I always try to find the right balance between annoying you, meaning like I'm asking you about every single decision you're making. So without like, basically, we don't want you to think too much during the game, but we want you to think a little bit more than you currently are. And that's how we can give you MMR. You know what I mean? Get you thinking about some things that you're not currently thinking about. So I guess this is just a first question. I don't have too much to say based on this right now. I don't want to overanalyze before I haven't seen more of your gameplay. So I guess all I'm trying to say is moving forward in this session, I'm going to try to think of, based on what I see and I ask you, I'm going to try to think of 1 or 2 things for you to focus on in your games for the next week that you previously were not focusing on, that I think will help you. Does that sound good?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm not going to like hyper analyze this first wave. Let's just, I usually when I see something I don't understand, I'll ask immediately. But I also think the relevance of this particular thing is not that massive, so I don't want to focus on it too much. Okay, so it did help give me a glimpse into your thinking and all that. Okay, so oh yeah, the mischance quite annoying there. Gonna pull into. Okay. I guess my question is, what do you want your Lion to do for you in this lane? I guess
I wanted him to
specifically
help
regarding
me,
pull
like,
camps.
keep the... Yes.
Sorry, go ahead. Go and give the answer you were going to give.
Oh yeah, sorry. So I wanted my Lion to, like, give me like a better creep equilibrium. Like, I wanted it to be like lower, like, instead of going further, because
Yeah.
like, I was afraid to get harassed.
Yeah.
Technically, yeah.
Okay. Are you looking to be aggressive at all, or
Yeah.
are you wanting to play the lane pretty chill, play for farm, play for pulls? Like, what are your thoughts?
I can be aggressive and push them out the lane by using Q, because I think the Phoenix's like, skills wouldn't matter. But after my first skills on cooldown, like, I'm pretty much useless after that.
I see. So out of curiosity, like, do you want him to pull right now at 217 or no? Like, if this pull camp was here, which it is, do you want him to pull? Why or why not?
Yes, I wouldn't have wanted it to pull.
Okay. So the reason I'm asking these type of questions, first off, it's even more important because this is your party queue mate. So I want to know, like, you know, if you want him to pull here, why is he not pulling?
Yeah.
Do you like?
He told me like sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Yeah, so like I was telling him to pull while he can. So I don't know, like so like I didn't really bug him so much because like we're
You cut out a little bit. I can't hear you. Not sure what's going on. Give him a chance to like reconnect or something. Looks like he like lost internet or something. Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Hello?
Yeah, sorry. I disconnected.
All good. Shit happens, I know. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. So my question earlier was, if you want your teammate to pull, why is he not pulling, basically? Because he's your friend. So, like, it's not like a random
Yeah,
pubber that you
so
can't
I
communicate
so
with.
I told him like I wanted him to pull.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I told him I wanted him to pull, but like if he can't like if he like misses his timings and stuff like
I lost you again.
hello? Sorry?
Yeah, you said
Can you hear me?
if he misses his timings and stuff, is what you said.
Yeah. I don't really push him to do more things for me because actually we're not so close, but he just like hit me up if he wanted to play, then I just like hopped in a party with him.
Hmm.
So like I generally tell him like what I like at that moment, but I don't really push him to do it.
Okay.
Like if you get what I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I guess my immediate thought is I'm not going to tell you who or who not to play with. I do believe that if you're playing in party queue with somebody, that they need to be equally trying to improve as much as you are. So if you're trying to improve drastically with these coaching sessions, unless you're either solo queuing or party queuing with somebody who cares to improve as much as you care to improve, I don't think it's going to work very well. Like, I'd rather you be playing solo queue or talk to this guy and say, hey, man, like, I'm getting coaching. I'm trying to be pretty intentional about getting better at this game. Would you be down to, like, discuss some of the stuff that I'm learning right now? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Just food for thought. I think that if you're trying to work on laning and you're consistently laning with a guy you know, even if you're not like that close, for me, it's way worse to run into the same problems because you play with the same player every game than it is to learn to adapt to random problems because it's just a random player on your team. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah, it's like if you're gonna play with somebody, I would want it to be somebody who's working with you, basically, because I'd want to know what's going on here. That's just food for thought, I guess. Okay, so you know, my major thoughts about your laning is it's really interesting. I can tell that you're if you're 6600 MMR, I can tell you're ultra rusty. I'll just be honest with you. It's like very obvious to me.
Very much.
So, like, the reason that I think about this is how many tangos is he giving you? How many tangos are you using where you could have just healing warded when you're sitting at full mana? Because for me, if I'm at full mana, I'm effectively losing whatever my mana regen is per second. Like, I'm wasting 0.9 mana per second. Because I'm not regenning it. So your healing ward is...
Got it.
You know, it's 2% max HP. It's 14 HP per second for 25 seconds. You know, if it's left alive in a perfect scenario, that's like 350 HP. That's like 3 tangos. You know? So, and then we think about the fact that you have 7 stick charges, and so we go through all that, and so, you know, the first thing I'll remind you of is a healthy balance of health and mana is really important on any hero. It's kind of like you have your life stealer and you're never using rage, but you're against like Jakiro and you could have just raged to save like 100 HP against his like breathe fire. Like you just didn't rage because he wasn't going to kill you or something, but you're just sitting at full mana, and it's like, well, there's no reason to sit at full mana and lose all your HP not casting spells. So it's funny, I've had a few jugs that I'm watching lately and they just never use their healing ward in lane. And, you know, the only difference in this situation and before is that if you had healing warded at any time during that beforehand where you were like, had an extra 200 HP, you kill them and you don't die. And that's great. So I don't have too much to say from that other than really focusing on making sure you're using your health and mana, not just one or the other. If you have any questions, let me know.
Yeah.
Okay, so you use healing word this time.
So I just started playing again last week.
What just killed you?
From...
Oh, the Shadow Demon poison. Yeah, so you said you just started playing again this week, and what?
Oh, no. So I just started playing like last week. Then the last time I played before that was like a year and a half.
I got you. Yeah, so you're like ultra rusty.
So I'm like super like... Yeah, so like... To me, it's a surprise. Roche moves up and down.
I see.
Like, I got shocked to that, and like, yeah.
Okay, I have a much better idea.
And like, my favorite carry is Medusa.
Carry is Medusa, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna shift the complete tone of this coaching session. Do you mind if I do that?
Sorry?
I'm gonna completely shift the tone of this session. Is that okay? I'd like to more so implement a plan for you coming back to the game. Is that cool? So,
of course, yeah.
So I think that your intentionality playing Dota needs to start with the heroes you're picking and what you're practicing. Okay. We can't have you be intentional in the game if you're not being ultra intentional loading into the game. Like, it's just not possible. So bear with me for a second here. This is my attempt, because I don't do this too often. This is my attempt to... I've done this maybe like 2 or 3 times before. My attempt to smoothly integrate you back into the game, okay, of Dota 2. So My question is, do you get to play carry most games? Like, do you play at like 70, 80% of games because of roll queue tokens and all that, or how does it work for you?
If I have like 8 or less roll queue tokens, then I queue for all rolls.
And that gives you
But
how many?
generally, I play carry most of the time.
How many roll queue tokens do you get for queuing all
It
rolls?
gives if I queue for all 5, I get 4 tokens.
Okay, you get 4 tokens. So that would mean that you get to play carry 80% of games. Like, just math.
Yes.
Okay, so that's and you want to play carry 80% of games, right?
Yes.
Okay, so my first thought about any player that's new to Dota or coming back to Dota is we're choosing 3 fucking heroes. Do you know what they are? Like, what do you want them to be?
Spectre, Medusa, and Faceless Void.
Okay. Can I not? Sorry, give me a second here. I'm struggling boomer style here.
Sorry.
Okay. Spectre, Medusa, Faceless Void is what you said. Why those 3?
Yes.
Are those your favorites?
Yeah, those are my favorites. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna get rid of... I'm gonna move this shit over here for now. Oops. So, in my opinion, my first recommendation is that you do something similar to what I'm doing here, which is to like prevent yourself from ever picking other shit. So the next step. So you've chosen your 3 heroes. I will just a quick meta analysis. I think Spectre is a bit weak right now. I don't think she's horrible, but I don't think she's a fantastic carry. Just power spike wise. But that's fine. It's more important that you play heroes well than it is that you play the meta. It's much more important you play the heroes you want to play as well. Medusa was very meta like a month ago. She did get nerfed, but I think she's still fine. She's so out of your 3 carries, I'd say like if 10 out of 10 is like really meta and 1 out of 10 is like horrible, it's like 4, 3, 5. Like, that's probably what these heroes are right now. And that's not...
Oh, wow.
That's not...
outdated.
What?
Yeah. Sorry, I said I'm so outdated. Like, I have no idea, like, what the meta is, like...
Yeah, so...
Stuff like that.
So I'm presenting that to you, and it's not that your first 3 answers have to be the final answer. My question is... Does that matter to you very much? Would you like to have more meta heroes, or would you like to stick to ones that you're familiar with historically? Like, what do you think will work better for you?
Actually, I just work more comfortable with the heroes I like playing. I don't really follow the meta. Like, if I'm more comfortable playing the hero, like I think I could perform better rather than playing the hero that's in meta that I don't really know how to use 100%.
Okay, that's fair. Absolutely. Cool. So we're going to stick with these 3 then. Sound good?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So, by the way, if anything I'm telling you that I recommend to you sounds like that's going to dampen your enjoyment of Dota, please tell me, okay? Because, like, the first thing I don't want is for you to feel like I'm giving you required homework. I'm trying to, like, tailor the approach to something that you would like, okay? So, if any of this sounds really unenjoyable, please tell me now. Does this sound okay to you?
Oh, yes, of course. No. Yes, of course.
Okay. Okay, great. So, whenever I'm looking at people's hero pools, including my own, this is how, like, I assess my hero pool, is what do these heroes, like, offer in the game, right? So, like, for instance, out of the 3 heroes you have, only one of them is a flash farmer, right? So, if I look at the state of the game and I think I need a farming hero, I'm going to pick Medusa out of the 3 that you have. Like, I need one that farms really fast. I mean, like, all 3 of these guys are pretty hard farmers. But if I need, like, a flash farmer, I would pick Medusa. I would also say that Medusa is the only one that, like, pushes waves fast. I would also say that Medusa's the only one that tanks. Like, even though Spectre becomes kind of tanky, she doesn't really want to get, like, initiated onto, you know, mid to late game. So, like, for me, if I'm, like, taking notes for myself, it's like, Medusa is my flash farmer, my tank, and my tower defender. Like, out of all three of these heroes, she does those the best. So, like, what I'm trying to tell you is these are things that matter a lot in drafts, and it's not that you need to know for sure what the perfect hero for the game is, but if we're selecting from your three heroes, you can ask yourself, out of the things I've listed, what do I need in this game? Do I need a tank? Do I need someone that defends towers? Do I need a flash farmer? Okay, I'll go with Medusa this game, right? So then the next one is Spectre, who's much more of a... What she is very independent on the map. Like, she doesn't really need people to play around her. She wants to play away from her team, but what she doesn't have is initiation. So the problem with Spectre and Medusa is neither of them initiate. So if you look at your team and you're like, fuck, we have no stuns, you would pick Void, right? Void has a stun. He gives you team fight control and initiation. But what Spectre does, compared to Medusa, is that she's much better at following up other kill heroes. So, like, if you have a Lion support, for instance, that's going to stun somebody on the map, or like a Legion commander, you would much rather be Spectre than Medusa. Do you see what I mean?
Yes, I get it.
Okay, so our goal here is for you going into the game to be intentional about what your hero fits in this game. Do you know what I mean? Like, even if, like
it has to make sense.
Yeah, even if you lose your lane, even if you aren't familiar with the meta, even if you're like, why the fuck is Roche walking through the river, right? Like, no matter what the thing is, you'll have this, like, anchor for what your purpose in the game is. Okay, so it's like, oh, I'm going to follow up Lion's initiation. Oh, I'm going to follow up Legion's initiation. Oh, I'm going to, like, build the flash farm and, you know, get Aegis and tank, you know? And I'm going to build... to take part in team fights with my initiation and yada yada. Like, that's Faceless Void, right? So that's like what I'm trying to give you going into your game. So does all of that make sense so far?
Yes, it makes sense.
Sweet. So we don't need to make any more changes. So the next thing I want you to do is I'm gonna go into demo hero on Medusa. And because you're coming back to Dota, there's a bajillion things on your mind, and I need you to think about the things that fucking matter, rather than the things that very little pay off, because there's just good builds on these heroes, okay? So, like, on Medusa, the build right now, I'll just, like, lay it out for you, is to either go wand triple branch in your starting items, or the other items are, like, stick, Sage's Mask for some mana regen, or some people go like 2 pieces of a Null Talisman. And a lot of times people end up in their inventory with a wand, a Null Talisman, treads. Like, that's pretty much always in their inventory. The only distinction is Falcon Blade or Null Talisman. But, like, honestly, like, even for now, that might be too much of a distinction. But I'm going to put it there for sake of, like, you can choose between which one feels better for you. Give you, like, some decisions, but not too many. Okay? So then what they end up going is just straight into Yasha Manta. Like, that's just what every Medusa does. Okay? Does that sound familiar to you? Because I know you said your knowledge of Dota is like a bit outdated, right? So does this also
so last I played, Medusa's carrying arcane boots.
Yeah.
I don't know how long ago,
Yeah, that was like a year or so ago, maybe 2. But yeah, I understand. There was a period of time where Medusa carry was going mana boots. Definitely not the thing anymore. Medusas are going wand plus Null Talisman and Falcon Blade, and what they're doing is when they get their neutral item, they always take this one if they can, the one that gives you mana when you're hit. And they always take this as well if they don't get this one.
Okay.
So, like, they take the item that gives them some mana regen, because what Medusa has lost is tank ability with her mana shield, so you need to compensate for that. That's, like, how they've nerfed her. So, that's just important to keep in mind. Do you have any questions about, like, the early to mid-game of Medusa, generally speaking?
No, I don't.
Okay, so that's what the meta is right now. Okay, is just going straight into Manta with like a mana regen neutral item. Okay, so then the follow up from that is there are two choices. The two choices that people go for is Butterfly into like Scotty, like this build right here. They go, so let's separate these. So it's like I'll actually separate into two separate categories. Here, oh, fucked up there. If I didn't already emphasize this enough, you need to do this yourself as well.
Okay.
Like, you literally need to go into your in-game shop and do this. You need to take, you know, whatever the amount of time that it takes to do this.
Okay.
So it's I'll just fix this. Option 1, Butterfly, Scotty. Option 2, Maelstrom, Ags, Mjolnir, Scotty. So then I need to add a third group that's just like a bunch of other items. Give me a second here. I mean, I'm making my build better too, so like this is actually good for me. I just, you know, I try to be really intentional about this kind of stuff with whatever hero I'm playing a lot of. That's not really an item people purchase.
Are you a carry hero as well, or
am I a carry player? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you look at my most heroes played,
Yeah.
they're all over here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's go back to this. So yes, I am a carry player. So I do dabble in other roles, but not by choice. So then I can put this here, but so the I gotta keep going. What happened here? It's meant to butterfly. Oh, okay. There's a Scotty in here as well. Okay, so the route that people go is like their inventory looks something like this. Like it's either Null Talisman or Falcon Blade, and then they end up with Manta, and then they usually buy a casual Windlace somewhere in there. And then they go straight into Butterfly and usually Scotty. So it ends up looking like this. Okay, so this is usually your build with the first build. Okay, this is the default build. Like this is the build you'll go unless you're dealing with specific counters. Okay. So this is like the best build for Medusa. The items after that are almost always a damage item and a mobility item. So oftentimes Medusa after this stage, she can right click really fucking hard in terms of hitting creeps. She can walk down lanes, but people either ignore her in fights or dodge her on the map. That's the problem this hero runs into. Okay, so a lot of people will go MKB or Daedalus depending on which one's more relevant for the game. And the other one they will go, like I'll put these first here. MKB, Daedalus, that will go like one of the two damage items. And the other item they go is either Swift Blink or Disperser. So I don't know how common it was when you were playing, but the emphasis of Disperser is that if you use it on yourself, it gives you haste movement speed. So I consider it like a mobility item for a hero like Dusa, because you are a hero that gets 6-slotted really fast, and it feels really fucking bad to play this hero with no boots and no mobility. Like this situation, like I ended up in this one time where you have like this. This feels real fucking awful. Yeah. Like you're fucking 302 move speed. So like, you know, instead of like somewhere in here, if they are gonna sell their boots, people buy a Disperser. Or a Swift Blink. Those are like the two options to solve this problem. Okay? So like either one of these is fine. But like the Disperser is really nice because even if you don't have boots, it like hastes you. You know? That's really nice. So I put these items here because you want almost always one of these two. This is like oversimplified for now, right? Just for the record, it's oversimplified, but I think it's better to keep it oversimplified for now. And usually one of these two items as well. Are we all good with that? So the exception in regards to this build is either anti-mage or they have heroes that create illusions of you. So Darkseer, Shadow Demon, yeah, you get the picture. Terrorblade. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in that case, this build is usually favored because your illusions don't do anything. Like with this build. Yeah, they have split shot and shit, but they're not hitting with a Daedalus and a Butterfly. They're hitting with an item that doesn't proc on illusions and a Scotty that doesn't work on illusions either. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So oftentimes in the late game, if people want to tank up with this build, they'll also go Kaya Sanj because it makes you ultra fucking tanky. Because you lose less mana, so it's like effectively more mana and defense, while also buffing up the spell damage from your Mjolnir. And just in case you were playing when the Ags was different, because they did change it, it makes your split shot apply all your effects. So now with this build, you have split shot, you have the Ags, the Mjolnir. You know, it's getting a little complicated here. But yeah, you have the Ags and the Mjolnir, and all your split shots are now applying everything, which is really nice. So, and Disperser goes really well with this as well, because now you're mana burning everybody around you as well. Like, this is a nice looking inventory for somebody who goes that build without the Butterfly. Maybe you'd have like a Daedalus or something. And it's like this. But yeah, any questions about that?
No. I see now she has like three facets. So you normally always take the venomous volley, right?
Yeah, that's if
Nothing
you're
else,
playing
or...
carry Medusa, that's the one everybody takes 100% of the time. Yeah.
Okay.
I think this one actually gimps you for carry Medusa, and this one just, I guess people just don't consider it as good as this one.
Yeah.
This one kind of just feels nice, to be honest. Also, once you get the Ags, it's even better, because your every 6th attack is also slowing people around you. So,
Wow. Yeah.
yeah, so especially with the Ags, it's like insanely good. But yeah. So the build is almost always snake level. Like the build is snake into Gorgon's Grasp, into snake, into alternating between these two.
Yeah.
Maxing them out, and then taking ult at level 10 usually is what people do unless they absolutely need it earlier. And then people skip the level 10
what
talent.
I do is like I take...
Go ahead.
Yeah. Sorry, I was saying like I only, like, since I played her, like I've only take the 3rd skill once, then I max out my attributes.
Yes.
I don't know if that's a thing now.
Yeah, that's still the thing, yeah. That's the most common build I see, yeah. Sound good?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so my goal for this session, by the way, if it wasn't already clear, is to send you off prepared, knowing what you're going to do going into your games, so that you can just play the fucking game. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
That's our goal. So we've got Medusa taken care of. So, like, and we've recognized that she's kind of your flash farming tank hero. Also, like, it's nice that she's ranged for lane as well, but that's not as necessary to consider. So for Faceless Void, we're gonna do the same thing. So for a while, Faceless Void was going Helm of the Dominator as his like first farming item because it helps give jungle gold. But quite frankly, the item got nerfed, and I don't think that build's really that great anymore on Faceless Void. And I also don't think you coming back to Dota, having you micro fucking creep is gonna help you. So we're gonna get rid of that. Get rid of that.
Yeah.
So starting items for Void are either a lot of carries go something like this, something like this, or something like this. You know, that's one of the builds. Usually Void likes stick because of having mana for time dilation. And a lot of times the build right now is to just go straight treads. Like a lot of times you're not upgrading this into anything, but you might do a Wraith Band if you're against like Slardar or like, you know, some heavy physical damage offlaner, you know. But the whole idea is you go straight into treads. Oftentimes people start with the Band of Elven Skin, and then they go Mask of Madness after that. That they're back to the traditional Mask of Madness, Maelstrom, and like this build looks pretty normal to you, I assume. And from there, I'm just moving the items down that are kind of situational. I would say like the most default build is that you either go BKB or Manta, depending on the game. Then you need either Scotty or Lincoln's in order to have refresher mana. And maybe you'll have an MKB in there. Or like a butterfly. Maybe. And then nullifiers for when they buy Eon discs. Yeah, other saving abilities. That's what the nullifier's for.
Yes.
I think Faceless Void's pretty straightforward in terms of what he's buying nowadays. This is like the build, I would say. Any questions about that?
No, I don't.
Okay, cool. I'm going to move these in front. I'm going to move these where they more properly belong for your... Also, you're welcome to... Like, I'm going to have this saved. It's going to be on the Discord server. It's going to be on my coaching YouTube channel, which I can send you a link to. Give me a second here. No, that's not it. There we go. All my sessions go on this YouTube channel, so I'm just sending it to you. It will be up there with your name and MMR and everything on it in the long run, but that's not probably going to be for a few days. But you can always watch the Twitch VOD to watch this back. But my biggest emphasis about all this is I think it's really important that your shop looks like this. Like, so that you just... You buy your Wraith Band, and then you shift queue this stuff, you know? Like, you have it in here to buy, and so then... Nowadays, a really nice thing you can do, I can't show it to you in demo, but if you don't have the gold for your items, you can right-click them, and then it'll buy them when you have gold. You've seen that already? You use that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So it's like, queue, like it just queues your next purchase.
Yeah, and then so, like, say I had 400 gold here. If I right-clicked this, when I got to 450, it would buy it for me. We're on the same page?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, like, for me, it's really important when I'm watching you play that you queue up your next item, you're buying the right items, you're using your skill in lane. Like, I know this sounds really basic, but you obviously have a lot of historic game knowledge and skill because you're 6.6k. So we just need to make sure all the basic shit is happening so that you can actually use your 6k skill to do stuff. It's like, funny enough, it's like, you know, you haven't played for a year, and I'm watching somebody not cast Healing Ward for the first 4 minutes of the lane. You know, it's just an example where it's not going to be ultra rocket science for us to get you back settled in. You know what I mean? The rest will kind of come naturally over time. So this is really important, I think, that you do spend maybe 15 minutes after this, or you could literally be doing it right now if you want to, but it's totally fine to do it afterwards. Just setting yourself up with items. Spectre is a little bit more... I've seen very, very different approaches from Spectre right now. They are taking the twist the knife facet. I guess, what Spectre have you historically played? Like, do you vibe more with the early active Spectre or the Radiant scaling Spectre? Like, what's more you? Or do you actually not mind playing either? Like, what's your...
I've tried. I don't mind playing either, but I think I'm more comfortable with the Radiance build, but it depends on the game. Like if they need me to jump with them to get experience and like assist like for gold, then I don't mind doing that. Like they would tell me to get Orchid and stuff like that.
Okay, so you know that what that sounds like is, like, you know, the current build for Spectre. Say it again.
Yes.
Okay. So...
Sorry. Oh yeah. So I was just gonna ask if Blade Mail was still because I still get that.
Okay, so generally speaking, I don't see Blade Mail very often on Spectre. The problem with Spectre right now, in terms of like what I think is wrong with her, is that they nerfed her to have a mana cost on her reality, which is like pretty brutal. It adds an extra 80 mana if you want to like ult into somebody and ult out. Like, that's a lot of mana, I think, you know, for Spectre. Like, you know, if I just want to ult somebody, like say I have like Treads, Wand, you know, whatever, like just normal items on level 6, and I want to ult a guy, it's like, you know, to go back, I literally spent 370 mana. Like that's just a lot of mana for Spectre. So oftentimes I would say your neutral items need to cater to that. You can consider something like an urn as like a small build-up item to Radiance, for instance. But I think the reason that Blade Mail's tough to make work is that your hero literally can't do anything in the game if your inventory looks something like this. You know, maybe there's like a Wraith Band or something. But like, that's pretty much what your inventory would look like if you have a Blade Mail, right? Somewhere, like if you rushed it.
Yeah.
So, for me, this 40 mana cost kind of gimped this build. Like, it feels really difficult to make that work. So, like, I think you could maybe go, like, I think the options would be something like Urn or Falcon Blade for mana into Radiance. Like, you need some item, maybe even a Null Talisman if you want to try that. I don't have extensive experience with Spectre currently, but I know Spectres are all going a small mana item, okay? So your option is like this, you know, that's up to you to decide which one it is. I'd say Blade Mail's kind of like out of the picture.
Okay.
Maybe even Soul Ring's worth considering. I know people were doing that at one point. Feel free to experiment with those. You know, and then the build is either going Radiance, like we talked about. Maybe I'd just get rid of Blade Mail for now. I don't think that's a thing. Some Spectres are going Helm of the Dominator. That's their item that lets them farm. If you want to try it, I do think it's kind of good. Because Spectre kind of plays... I'm waiting for a map to show up. Come on. Come on, game. Work with me. Okay.
So what's your like farming pattern now?
Yeah, so I can talk to you a little bit about carry farming patterns, including Spectre, but just in general. So I don't want to equip this actually. Unequip. Come on. So what makes Spectre like kind of good in this meta, and so Nature's Prophet has been like super broken for a while now, and what makes these heroes theoretically good is that there's a bunch of camps on the map now that are like way down here. I'm just gonna get myself a bunch of items real quick.
Okay.
Just to like show you stuff. Whatever. Okay. Nice BKB. So there's camps like this one and like this one on Radiant, and then there's like, you know, what's up with the map down here? I can't see it. Whatever. There's camps up here, of course, here and here, and these are like, you're like in the middle of fucking nowhere farming these camps, right? So for like a lot of carry heroes, it feels bad to be here unless you absolutely have to be. Like, this is the safest farm and you've been booted out of everything else. But that is one nice thing, is that you do have safe farm to retreat to. But the ideal carry rotation for a hero like Medusa, for instance, is that like as soon as you get treads, you start pushing out the wave and farming these two camps as soon as possible, right? And then once you feel like you can farm these two camps, then push the wave. Then on Medusa, you start stacking Ancients, like towards the end of the minute, but you don't farm them, you just stack them, right? Like you'll work your way towards that, you'll get here, you'll stack it, you'll come back to lane. Like that's the ideal farming rotation for Medusa, for instance. With a lot of heroes like Faceless Void or Spectre, it's really important past 5 minutes that you're actually pulling the small camp into lane. Like you'll be laning down here because these heroes don't jungle very fast, right? Spectre and Faceless Void. So like what they start doing is right at 5 minutes, 5:15, they'll be utilizing this pull, so that what ends up happening is if you pull, like you know, I'm having a tough time because I'm like fucking right clicking for 200 fucking damage, but you know, we pull it into, this is not gonna work, is it? Oh god, disaster. But they pull it into the camp, and then what happens here when they pull it into the camp is that this wave will then come into their tower, so that sets them up at 5 minutes to like farm this. You know, this is when you hit for like 5 damage. And then the wave comes into tower, and then this is like how Spectre and Void type carries will get their farm. You see what I mean?
I see, yeah.
So that is like until you get the first farming item for Void, it's like Mask of Madness. For Spectre, it's potentially the Helm Dom. I do think that's probably your best build. But if you want to go treads into Orchid, which is also, I think, fine, you know, this rotation just becomes rinse and repeat, utilizing small camp. It's going to be difficult to incorporate the big camp into your farm for heroes like Spectre and Void. But once you get that first item, whether that's like the Oblivion Staff for Spectre if you're going Orchid, or the Helm Dom, or whether or not you get Mask of Madness, that's when the carries start to go back here. Right? They'll rotate between, like, they'll kill this camp, and, you know, I'm going to simulate it faster, but they'll kill this camp, and they'll, like, come back and scoop the wave up under tower. You know, like, they'll do this, and then they go back. You see what I mean? Like, that's a lot of the default
I get it.
carry. And a lot of the best carries in the game right now can clear this with, like, a cornucopia. You know, that's why I think, like, Jug, Troll, Ursa are, like, the 3 best carries right now, because they have this treads into cornucopia build that farms this. So it's not that I'm telling you not to pick the heroes you're playing, but that's based on the map right now. That's why they don't exactly fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So on Spectre, you shouldn't be afraid to, like, get your farming items and just, like, work your way back here and be farming back here a lot, and then using your ult, of course, to participate. The only concern I have for you as a carry player is that, if possible, it is your job to defend this tower, so don't give up the tower for free if you're playing Spectre or Faceless Void, just to jungle. So when you're jungling back here with your Mask of Madness Void or your, you know, level 7 or 8 Spectre, just try to keep an eye on what's going on down here. Can you maybe head back to lane? Because these rivers do make you move faster. So you can get back here much faster when you're walking down the river. Like, you're pretty fast. So you'll probably be able to return, scoop up the wave, and then, like, reinitiate this farming pattern. And this is where you would prefer to be. The backup plan is, like, these 2 camps over here. This is like, I'm getting pushed out of lane. I am getting hunted by support somehow, and this area fucking sucks, so I'm going to go over here. You know, that's like the backup. So the depending on what hero you are, depending on what items, generally the choice is to stay in lane and farm these 2 camps, to play defensive and farm these camps back here and rotate back to lane, or to TP here and farm here if you're an ancient clearer like Medusa, or to TP here and farm here if you're not so much an ancient clearer. These are like your backup plans. Does that sound like, does that make sense for farming patterns here?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So my goal from today's session, because we have pulled up on a little over an hour now, we don't have to immediately end, but kind of drawing it to a close. My goal for today's session, since you're coming right back to Dota after a year break, you're pretty high MMR, so I'm not too concerned about teaching you the game right now. I'm just trying to get you comfortable, so that you can settle back in, was that we're looking at 3 heroes for you. We're looking at you being as intentional as possible. I'm just going to type these notes in here for you. 3 heroes. Spec, Medusa, Void. Intentional about your pick. Stun, tank, follow-up, global, like, whatever. You know, like, label the heroes in whatever way you would like to label them. I think that's really important. So when you're in your game, you know what your purpose is. Set, shop, and item build to follow, so you don't have to focus on it. Queue up items you're gonna buy. Feel free to refresh farming pattern from this session. But yeah, we're giving you some baseline farming patterns. We're giving you item builds. We're giving you three heroes to choose from, so you can be intentional about what you're doing in the game and be comfortable as well, so you're having fun and you're not overloaded. That's our intent from today's session. Does all of that sound good to you? Do you have any other questions, thoughts, stuff like that?
Yeah, it all sounds good. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, no problem. I'm looking forward to, you know, sign up again whenever you're ready. Like, it can be a week, it can be 2, whatever window you feel like fits based on how it's going for you. And I'll see you in the next one, and we'll expand upon this from there. Does that sound good?
Okay. Yeah.
Sweet, man. Awesome.
Thank you.
No problem. I'll see you next time.
Appreciate it. See you.
Peace.